Hi friends, welcome to the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 59. My name is Lori. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband Ryan and our two cats Dixie and Daisy. And I love to crochet, and I love to knit, and I love to sew. Learning new things about all three of those things all the time. And so you can find all that stuff, all the yarny fabric goodness on all my social media, which is linked down below. It also includes my email and my blog, which is where I put all my show notes. So if there's any yarns or patterns that I talk about that you may be interested in, go over there. That's where everything is linked, where you can find all that stuff. So, welcome to new viewers. Glad you're here. Glad you found me. And for all my returning viewers, hello again. Happy Sunday. Okay, so life stuff. Are you guys okay with me starting with life stuff? Because I always do it first. So like friends and family who aren't into the yarny goodness, they can just stop then. But I will put a timestamp here. If you don't want to hear about my new job, then you can skip ahead. Anyway, so yes, big thing, new job. Oh my gosh. For one, yes, I love the commute. It's 5-minute drive. Once there's a creek that runs through campus, and the bridge washed out last year. Once that bridge is back up, I will be walking. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, for those of you who are new, I just got a new job. I started this week. It is just down the road from me. It is a Christian school for those who have special needs. There's a school, and then there's adult services, and my husband works with the adults, and then I'm actually with the administrative team. My official title is Database Coordinator, Advancement Database Coordinator. So people who donate to the school, I'm going to be in charge of all their information. So this week was lots and lots of training videos. The first day was all of Elam training videos, just like what the school is about, things that we need to know for the school side of things. And then some people told me like it took them like 2 or 3 days to get through those videos, and I was like, I got through them in 1 day. Actually, I was the last one to leave my building my first day. Because I was like, I was so close to finishing the last video. I was like, just let me finish. Yeah. So I clocked out right on time, right at 4:30. So, anyway, and so then I'm like, well, now what am I gonna do? And so I go into work, and there's an email about so the actual database system that we use, the program. There's training videos that they emailed to me to watch. There are 22 of them. The shortest one is about 52 minutes. So, yeah. There are definitely times when I was like, oh wait, my eyes are closed. I need to open them again. I'm gonna fall asleep. I mean, it's like I'm learning about a computer program. It's stuff that I will need to know, and like I'm like, oh well, And they'll like give little tips and tricks, and it's like, oh, well, that's cool. And then it's like, but do they utilize this yet? I don't know. And then we had a meeting on Friday. It was a Zoom meeting with the actual consultant from this company. And sorry. Anyway, so during the meeting, I kind of like, from things that were said and all that, I kind of gathered like they just started with this, so everybody's still kind of learning it. And my goodness, the planes are going crazy. I'm not far from Midway Airport, just so you know. Anyway, yeah, so like I think that like they just started with this database program. When you first open it up, there's a line that says you have 4,930 duplicates. So I think they had just done a massive dump of all their donors and everything. And every time I see that number, I'm like, because I think that's what I'm gonna be doing, is cleaning that up. At least at first, like making sure that's okay, because I'm the database coordinator. I think that's gonna be part of it. And of course, part of me is like, let me get in there and do this, please. Let me figure this out. But yeah, so I think there may be some tricks that I can do that would make that a lot easier, so I don't have to go through each one. And of course, you know, I don't know the people. I don't know, yeah. So there's still a lot of things. It's going to be a while before I've got a handle on this job. But it's fun. Oh, and one more thing. So the database that we use is called Little Green Light. I'll put a picture of their logo. Does it look familiar? Yeah. So I kind of laughed. Like, when it hit me that their logo was this light bulb, I was like, oh. I kind of chuckled. And then, like the next day, I was talking with coworkers, and I was like, it just made me laugh because of their logo. And I pulled out my business cards. I'm like, look. So, anyway, just made me laugh. But let me just say, I have coworkers now. I have to go to meetings now. I'm not just sitting there doing nothing. It's nice. Although I've been kind of sitting there doing nothing because I'm just watching videos. Taking notes, obviously, because we need to make sure I get a handle on this program. But anyway, definitely did not get any crochet or knitting done during work. Not even on my lunch hour, because my lunch hour has been cut in half. I usually, like in my old job, I had an hour lunch. Now it's just half hour, and boy, does that fly by. Okay. I think what I may start doing, especially when it's nice out, I may just go, there's a little gazebo behind my building. I may just go out there for half an hour and knit, and then come in and eat my lunch while I'm working. Because most of the people don't even leave their desk. They go grab their lunch and they eat while they work through lunch. I don't get it. I know for my mental health, I'm gonna need that break. So I'm gonna take it. So I think this week what I'm gonna do is make sure I've always made sure I had my knitting or a project with me, just in case I had an opportunity. But anyway, so this week I'm definitely gonna try to make that a for sure thing. And also, because my husband works there, we get to go on lunch dates now. So I was like, I don't want to interfere with you and your thing, because I know you and your coworkers, you have your own thing. So, but everyone, like once a week would be great if we can make that happen. I'm just because I'm working at the same company doesn't mean I'm going to be intruding and, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you have your thing, I'm gonna have my thing. Okay? But I think it would be fun to have lunch together at least once a week if we can make that happen. So we decided Wednesdays might be the best day, like, just to start off, like, we just picked a day. And so this week we just ran to McDonald's and ate on the way home because the half an hour goes by quick. It's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, but yeah, it was nice just to have just a little time together. And then I've been getting tour around the school and then around adult services, and then obviously, stopped in to see his classroom, which he calls the man cave because he only has guys in his room, and so they have sports stuff all over, and so yeah, that was cool. And then of course walking around his building, the office manager for that building, when she gave us the tour around, and she was like, oh yeah, and this is Ryan's wife. And I'm like, hey, and then they're all like, I don't know how you deal with him. Because he's quite the cut up, and he does things for attention, and he will say that that's what he does. He does things for attention. So the office manager in my building, I said something about, oh, I'm Ryan's wife, and she's like, oh, no coat Ryan. I was like, yes. So every day they have to walk over to the group home that's near. It's actually, I'm closer to the group home than Ryan is. So they have to go over and get the clients and then bring them back to the classroom. And during the winter, Ryan doesn't wear his coat, and he just wears a hat. Usually it's that bright rainbow hat that I made a couple of years ago for myself. He stole it. So, anyway. Crazy boy. Anyway. But yeah, it's exciting. And I'm so happy that I'm finally working there. I'm finally don't have a long commute. Yeah. Although listening to podcasts and stuff is out the window. At least for now. Like, I think once I get into doing my job, I could probably have some listening. I could start listening to some while I'm working. I don't think that would be a problem. So anyway, what else have we done? Last weekend, I took the plant stands that we had. They were part of our wedding decorations, which was 17 years ago. And they had been outside for a few years since we moved up here. So I thought, they're looking really gross. So I sanded them down, and I got the Rust-Oleum paint and spray painted them. So they're purple now. They're so pretty. I did see a purple glitter one, so I thought, well, if I need to do it again, if I need like another coat, I'll go get the purple glitter and make them really sparkly. So I did those last week, and then yesterday I finally went out and got my flowers. So I'm using my plant stands now. So I have, so on the plant stands I have these turquoise pots, and then I have some English lavender in there, which I'm really excited about because I wanted to make my own lavender sachets, to put in my project bags, to put in my, to use in my stuff. I had, some people do send them when they send packages, like a package of yarn or whatever. Some people do put lavender stuff in there or some other smelly thing. I don't have a problem with that. I love it. But I do have friends who don't like the smell of it, and I do have a friend who is deathly allergic to lavender. So if I send out things, I probably won't be putting anything in there. So the lavender is just for my use. For my own personal stuff. But yes, like when I send out the advent calendars, some other viewers and I are doing an advent calendar swap, so just our scraps. So if I will message whoever gets my stuff, like, do you want lavender in there or not? If all of this, what I'm planning to do, if all of that works out, that's my plan. So anyway, as far as, yeah, so I planted lavender, I had planted some pansies, I planted some petunias, and then I got another one, I can't remember what it's called. I'll put the name at the bottom here. It's one that I had never heard of, but I saw on the thing it attracts butterflies and hummingbirds, and even though I got 2 little small plants, I'm hoping to attract at least some butterflies. Let's have some pretty butterflies around the house. But mostly the plants that I get, I plant them in memory of my grandparents. I plant their favorites. Sorry, just sometimes the grief just hits you out of the blue. Anyway, so yeah, I usually cry when I'm planting. Yeah, anyway, okay, let's get on to the yarny goodness, shall we? Okay, I think I got myself together now. So for finished objects, when I wrote my notes, I had 2 down. And then last night I finished another one. So I have 3 finished objects to show you. Yay! So, first things first. Living in my lobster bag, made by me. Of course, since I'm knitting socks, I had to have strictly sock badge on here because I participated in that, the sock along. For those of you in Britain, they have Strictly Come Dancing. In America, we have Dancing with the Stars. Same concept, just different name. So yeah, so I did lobster bag because the yarn that I used is based off of my favorite TV show, Friends, and there's a whole lobster reference in that TV show. Anyway, so my friends and I are doing a sock challenge where we try to knit a pair of socks every month. So I finished my May socks. The yarn that I used is Night Owl Fibers. She has a sock club, so every month there's a new colorway based off. She has a Friends club and a Gilmore Girls club. I've never watched Gilmore Girls, so I see her posting about them. I'm like, I have no idea what that means. But the Friends stuff I do know. There was one, the colorway was called Gum Would Be Perfection, and it's like, I know what that's from. Anyway, so the yarn that I got, so it was from January, the January club, as it's blowing out. The colorway is called I'll Be There For You, which is the theme song. It's a self-striping yarn, which I'm sure you can tell from the ball. And then the contrast color I had, hold it back here so you can see, is purple. I asked her to dye one like Monica's Apartment, so she named this one Monica's Apartment. Which she came out with a striping one, like the actual sock yarn was called Monica's Apartment, and it had like the gold for the frame and like all the different colors that are in Monica's Apartment, of course with the purple. It was gorgeous. I was like, ooh, you're killing me, Smalls, you're killing me. Anyway, so without further ado, here are my finished socks. Ta-da! Oh my gosh, I love these. I love these so much. So, last time you saw, I have my cute little lobster progress keeper. Of course, he wants to hang backwards. There you go. So yeah, I had just finished the heel. And so then I just wanted to do one more of the striping repeat. And then I think I did 3 rows of the purple of Monica's apartment on the top. There, so my May socks are done. Yay! Considering tomorrow's the last day of May. Anyway, they were done. I actually finished these my last day of work at my old job. I was like, that's kind of fitting. I'm done, and I'm done. Honestly, the main reason I left that job was the commute. That's really it. Okay, so we'll stick with the knitting. So this is what I finished last night. Living in my lemon bag, which I like lemons, but I don't know what it is about this fabric that just makes me feel so cheery, and I just love it. And then of course I have another pin by Allie from Little Drops of Wonderful. It is her "You Are a Little Drop of Wonderful" little pin here. Okay, so in this was, where's the picture? There it is. The Bankhead hat. It is by Susie Gourlay. So they're lovely black and white photo. The yarn that I used is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted. Of course, if I pull it, if I go up here, you can't really see the colors. There you go. This yarn I dyed myself. So I did yellow, green, and pink. And I call this colorway Tulips in the Snow. And are you ready to see my hat? Ta-da! It's all done. So last time you saw, I was here. I just really gotten started into the brim. And then just kept going. And then the top of the hat, the decreases are like real quick, and so I'm not sure how I feel about that, because it just, well, honestly, this hasn't been washed or blocked yet because I just finished. But yeah, I don't know, can you see like how holy that is up there? I don't know, but I was using double pointed needles. And so I posted on Instagram. I always feel like a ninja when I'm doing double pointed needles. Okay, so here, let me put it on. It is, I thought I had to do like 10 more rows before I started the decreases. And then I tried it on. I was like, oh no, I'm ready to do decreases. So it's a little too long, a little too poofy. But once it's washed and blocked, it should be okay. But remember how I messed up on that first row? I can see it for sure. I can see it. I'm sure other people will just think it's normal. I don't know. So anyway, so yeah, I kind of like how it pulled and then how it's so different around. So anyway. So yeah, there's my Bankhead hat. Love it, love it. Alright. That'll be nice when I'm walking to work. Anyway, now I'm gonna fix the hair again. Okay, and then the last one is a surprise. So last week, after I did all the painting on the plant stands, this one only took me two days to do. It's real quick. One, I gotta find, I have a whole body picture. Oh, there it is. Anyway, so Little backstory. So I've always loved Disney movies. My brother and I quote them to each other quite often. And especially, and like I would watch them every once in a while, but especially since we got Disney Plus, like I've been watching Disney movies a lot, and it's like I really, really like them. They have, so a lot of them have great messages. And one of them that I've really like fallen in love with again, since I'm older now, is Lilo and Stitch. I love the message behind that, you know, the whole Ohana. Anyway, let me get going again. Okay, so in the movie, Lilo is an orphan, and she's a little girl, and she doesn't really, like, her sister is doing all she can to keep their little family together. And so, like, obviously dolls is not a priority. So Lilo makes her own, and it's a little rough looking. But I found a free pattern. It is by Anne Boschers. We'll link in my show notes. It's a free pattern. There are several on Pinterest and Ravelry that you can pay $8 for, and I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. Sometimes I will, but this I was like, no, I can do for the free one. So here is what Scrump looks like. This is the pattern. And one thing that I liked about doing this is you're supposed to make it look like a little kid made it, so nothing has to be perfect. And I was like, that's awesome. So I crocheted my bow. I didn't do the hair like she did hers on the pattern, and I used whatever buttons I had because that's what you gotta do. Anyway, so here is my Scrump. Oh, she's cute, but yet, what? Yeah, so here's Scrump. So yeah, here's a stitch on her mouth, and you have mismatched eyes and a belly button. And I think in the movie it's straw hair, so I mean this is supposed to stick up straight, but mine curls down. And like my legs aren't sewn on evenly, neither are the arms. That's okay, because it's supposed to look like a little girl made it. So anyway, I'm very excited about my Scrump. Don't know where she's gonna live, but yeah, she may just go join all the other ladies on the couch. I don't know. Or she may go live at my office. I don't know. Which, that's another thing I wanted to say. So I get in, get my desk. I don't have a window. I was like, man, I was hoping I'd have a window. Because I haven't had one in my office, in my little nook that I had there. But I do have a lot more room. But they told me, don't get too comfortable here because we're rearranging all the offices and desks at the end of June. I'm like, oh, so I'm not even taking anything with me until all of that is done. So yeah, maybe Scrump will come join me at my desk. I may still have a window. I don't know. Okay, makes in progress. I was looking over my notes and I realized I left one downstairs. So, run down there, go get it. So this is a new one that I just started since the last time I podcast. It is living in the rosebud bag. I've said before that this material reminded me of something that my grandma had made me a long time ago, like when I was really young. Okay, so, and then I found a thumper pin, because that's what my parents called me. That was my nickname in the womb. Okay, so what's in here is this is a free pattern by Repeat Crafter Me. It is a moss stitch shawl. She used a Karen Big Cake. So it's a worsted weight shawl that she did. I am going to be using all my fingering leftovers. So I mean like little scraps of fabric that you can't really, or not fabric, little scraps of yarn that you really can't do anything with. Obviously if they're 20 grams, I'm putting them in my Advent calendar swap. So yeah, so I have a bag of scraps. I've kind of separated my scraps out. So I have my acrylic fingering weight. I have my indie dyed fingering weight, and then I have my own dyed fingering wool. Yeah. Words, Lori. What are the words you're trying to use? Anyway, so this is my start so far. I've got all these lovely ends to weave in now. I'm gonna have a lot to weave in. But here's the start of my shawl. Here we go. This is the right side. So yeah, obviously I started with a big block of purple, and then I did the gray and the blue, which these are my leftovers from my blurred line sweater. And then I have these the yarn bee, I forget what cannot remember what the the type of yarn it was. It's acrylic yarn, I forget, it's a yarn bee, it's Hobby Lobby specific. I use these to kind of fill in for my Just Feel Festive shawl. So the leftovers I have from that are going in here. And then when I finish all the solid colors, then I think I'm going to add in my dyed, the leftovers of the yarn that I've dyed. Oh, what's going on with my hair? Anyway. So yeah, it's real simple moss stitch, so it's a single crochet and a chain. It's going to take a while because it's fingering and it's single crochet. I am using a 4.0 millimeter hook. I was going to do a 3.5, or is it 3.75? 3.75. And I just grabbed what I thought was. Nope, that's the 4. Doesn't matter. It'll be fine. Yeah, this is going to be a long project for sure. We'll just set that over there. The other project, making progress, I have is living in my llama bag. This is actually a pattern in progress because I do have one done. So I'm working on a hat. I'm calling it the Hypatia Slouch. Hypatia is an awesome lady, real woman from history. Go look her up. She's awesome. Anyway, so here is my slouch so far. I haven't even woven in the ends. So yeah, there's the stars. The star stitch. I thought that turned out so cool. So yeah, let me find. Now, I probably should have done a few more rows. Actually, I probably could have done a couple more rows on the star stitch, just so we could get more of a slouch in the back. So yeah, but obviously this is a pattern in progress. It's a pip. So yeah, so here is the adult large. Yes, I have to do large because I have a big head. I am going to try to do different sizes. So this is the 6-month hat. Although, like, that's so tiny. I just have done one row of the star stitch. And I was getting ready to work on that, and I realized I've been using the wrong size hook. So I think that's why it's so small. But I'm mostly trying to get the right stitch counts for all the rows, everything that needs to be done. Yeah, so last time you saw hadn't even started the star stitch on this one. That's why this is there. So yeah, I'm working on trying to get sizes for everybody so they can have it. Yeah. I took this with me to church this morning to work on it, and I totally forgot. Like, my mind just blanked on what to do after you do this. It's like, I didn't have my notes with me, so maybe this afternoon I'll work on it, see how much I can get done on the baby hat, so then that's done. I thought about pinning my hair back, but then I knew I would be trying on hats, so here we are. So those are my two makes in progress that I have to show you. My color block sweater, I didn't even touch these last 2 weeks. And that's what I'm going to take with me this week to work on, so my lunch hour. Okay, so for things that are going to be coming up. June is coming, so I need to get started on my June socks, which I thought needs to live in my Rapunzel bag. You even see her there. So yeah, I have Rapunzel, and then the pin is Go Live Your Dream. Figured Rapunzel is the perfect bag to hold my Disney villains yarn. So these are going to be my June socks. This one I dyed up myself. I was with some friends, we were dyeing, I was teaching them how to dye, which sounds really weird. If you don't know, I'm talking about dyeing yarn. I'm teaching my friends how to dye. Anyway. And so I had one skein left, and it's like, I don't know what colors I'm going to use, and there were like 3 pots of colors. There was a purple, a green, and a black. So I thought, well, let's put those together. And of course, obviously the black breaks, and it doesn't really come out as black. And then of course the purple breaks a lot. The green really stays true, I think. This blue here is kind of from the black breaking. But anyway, if you know Disney, you know lime green is like the color of the villains. And a lot of them are do black and purple as well with it. And of course, Hades has that bright blue hair. I'm not a villains fan. Like, I know some people are super excited about the Cruella movie, but I'm like, I'm okay. I don't really need to see that. Unless you're talking about Yzma, then I'm like, I love Yzma. I don't know why. I don't know why I like her so much. Which, speaking of Yzma, I did have some leftovers from that. I put this in my Waru shawl. So it's purple, and then I dyed some blue over top of it. So I was thinking, I've been seeing a lot of people do like 2 rows of a contrast color on the cuff. Like, it's just around a very thin line around the top of the sock, and then the rest of it is the main color. I may do that. So I may have a little bit of Yzma on top. I'm still debating. And most of the time when they do that, they do cuff down, which I've never done. I always do toe up, just because I like the control that I have over it. I feel like I'm more in control of my sock than, I don't know why. It's just me. Anyway, so yeah. So these will be started within this week, I should think. So yeah. And obviously, if you want a great villain, Rapunzel's Mother Gothel. She's bad. I don't think anybody likes her. Anyway. And then, of course, so every month I'm trying to do a pair of socks. Every month I'm trying to do another iconic lady. Because I need to have so many colors, it lives in this big bag from Joann's. So of course I'm talking about my crochet iconic women. I love this book. I can't recommend it enough. So yeah, Scrump may be living on the couch with these ladies. That's what I was talking about for those of you who are new. So this month, for the month of June, I'm going to do Malala Yousafzai. I've been practicing Yousafzai. That's how you say her last name. I think, according to YouTube, like I kept playing it. Yousafzai. So anyway, so there she is. She is the, she's a young girl from Pakistan. She was on the bus going to school, and the Pakistani Taliban stopped the bus and made up what they were going to make all the girls get off because they didn't think girls deserve an education. And she was like, no, I'm going to stay on the bus. And so they shot her in the head. And she survived. And like, I'm just like, whoa, that's so cool. She then, but 2 years later, she became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize at 17 years old. So yeah, she is someone, I need to know more about her story. I should probably look her up more. But she's one I've always admired, like seeing stuff around. I know she does have an autobiography out, so I should look into that. Yeah. And I have the fabric. I should double check, make sure I have it. But I do have fabric in mind for her head wrap. So she will be up next. I don't know if she'll be done, if she'll be started within this next week, but she'll be done before June is over. So there are 2 upcoming projects. And then, those of you who are new, I've put myself on a yarn ban because I have plenty of stuff to work on. I don't need to be going and buying more. But I got a new job. I need to celebrate somehow, right? So Friday night, Ryan and I went up to Chicago to see our friends who live there. And there's a yarn shop that used to be a couple blocks down the street from their house, their apartment, condo, whatever you want. I think it's condo. The yarn shop then moved into their building. Which the husband is a crocheter and he likes yarn and all that stuff. So he's like, Lori, I've got a yarn shop in the first floor of my building. I'm like, we need to go up there and see them so I can go to the yarn shop. So we made sure Friday I got up because the holiday we got off early. So came home, went up to Chicago so I could go yarn shopping and then go out to eat with them because she got a new job. And so it's like, celebrate both of us getting new jobs. We're so excited. So, the yarn shop. Let me get, sorry for the rustling. Okay, so the yarn shop is called Yarnify. I love their logo because that is like the city of Chicago flag. But instead of red stars, you have a knitting ball. a ball of yarn, 2 knitting needles, and a crochet hook. So yeah, Yarnify is a cool store. And they have Malverigo, they have 3 Irish Girls, which is one of my favorite dyers. They have a lot of dyers that I've seen before. And of course, you know, in other yarn shops you see all kinds of different independent dyers, and then of course, you know, the mass dyers and all that. But there's a couple. I wanted to get a new to me dyer, is what I'm trying to say. So I got 2 skeins of yarn. The first one is Stitch Together, which is a very popular one. I have never had any of her yarn. I just hand dyed somewhere in Iowa. Rad Yarn for Rebels is what it's called. So anyway, you ready to see this? Guess what color I got? You kind of saw a little peek of it, but guess what color I got? Yeah, I got purple. So this is her Stitch Smooth sock, which is 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. Oh my gosh. Look at that purple. Oh, and the speckles. Oh my gosh. So the colorway is called Indigo Montoya. Hello, my name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I love this so much. So yeah. The second one I bought. I'll put this down so the bag doesn't make any more noise. This is from Knitted Wit. And she has a whole series of her story colorways. So you have his story or history. Well, now we have her story. So she does, I'll put a link to her website. It has a whole story of why she picks people, why she's doing this, all of that. So she'll have a woman in mind, and then she'll do a colorway based off of that woman. Kind of like my shawls and stuff, that my patterns that I make are based off of women that inspire me. And, you know, the iconic women that I'm crocheting, like, there's all, it's all the same. Anyway, several of the women that she has done before I have heard about because of the podcast that I like to listen to, the History Chicks. They're like, and so they had pictures of all the women that Yarnify has bought their colorways. So Ryan was looking through it and he's like, Man Killer, what? I was like, oh, Woman Man Killer, she's awesome. And he's like, what? And I was like, she's a history chick, subject. She's Cherokee, so that's her real name. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, I want to see her. He's like, Man Killer, I don't know if I want. I don't think I like that. No, it's fine. Anyway, so the one, of course, I digress. Anyway, so the one that I bought is this beautiful pastel-y color. So there's green and pink and blue and yellow and a little bit of purple, not much. The colorway is called Persistence, which is based off of Stacey Abrams. Am I saying that right? Wait. Sorry, for some reason, like I was thinking Stacey Kelly. I was like, is that right? No, it's Stacey Abrams. She is the lady who ran for governor in Georgia and then lost the election. But she's like really been pushing for people to help people vote. And so she's been very persistent in helping people vote. So anyway, but yeah, I I love her. I love the ideas, like her thinking. Like, yes, we need to get people voting. And then of course, I just love this color. It's so beautiful. So, I have these 2 skeins of yarn. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. Part of me's like, oh, I should do socks. But then part of me's like, no, these need to be seen. These need to be around my neck. These need to be on my head. I don't know. I may just do like a simple sock head hat with this. So I don't know. If you know of any great one skein projects, let me know. I know there's bundles on Ravelry. I know some people don't do Ravelry anymore. I was glad when they gave you the option to do dark mode, which I'm sure I've talked about this before. That's what I have on all my stuff. On my phone, on my desk at work, on my computer at work. Like, I just do dark mode because it's less strain on my eyes. So anyway, Ravelry has dark mode now. Love it. So yeah, I need to find something to do with these. This may be a while. I may just leave them so I can just admire, sit and look at them because they're so pretty. Anyway, that is all my stuff. Tomorrow is a big holiday, so thank you to everyone who has served in the military, and I hope the rest of you have a great holiday. If you get it off, I hope you do. But I know some people do have to work. So yeah, I will see you later. And just have fun with your crafting. I'll talk to And why am I having a hard time saying goodbye? I don't know. I don't want to go. Anyway, God bless. Bye. Do you have to fly over right now? I'm trying to record a podcast. That's what I thought.